According to Liberty Times Net, all deposits in Yuzhou Xinminqiang Village Bank, Shanghai Huimin Village Bank, Zheqiang Huanghuai Village Bank, and Kaifeng New Oriental Village Bank have been frozen since April 18th, resulting in several protests in Zhengzhou, Hunan's capital. Today, we will discuss sorting out the whole process, its key points, and the most critical red code. Hunan's incident is a two-stage financial scam. As reported by Bloomberg, Hunan is accused of abusing its COVID control measures to keep depositors from returning to the city to protest. Depositors claim they are defrauded from billions of dollars in suspected financial fraud. In addition, several people have reported being denied access to their deposits through online platforms. Their health codes are now arbitrarily manipulated and turn red when scanned in Zhengzhou, Hunan province. Columnist Tang Jingyuan was interviewed by the Chinese language media outlet Da Jiyuan. He said public opinion broke out after Hunan authorities placed all depositors on the red code. The first stage occurred on April 18th, when the village banks in Hunan abruptly shut down their online deposit and transfer channels without warning due to what they said was a system maintenance upgrade. After that, village banks in Hunan and Anhui were also found to be preventing depositors from withdrawing their money. The disappearance of bank customers' deposits caused panic among depositors. According to Tang Jingyuan, Hunan authorities suppressed these actions. Therefore, more depositors went to Zhengzhou to defend their rights. How many people or organizations were affected? Caixin has a report regarding the number of depositors affected by the incident. On June 12th, Hunan continued changing depositors' health codes to red. It affects victim depositors who visited or didn't visit Zhengzhou. According to Caixin's previous understanding, the 4 rural banks in Hunan and 2 rural banks in Anhui, with closed online systems, had approximately 413,000 online depositors. This number includes foreign depositors. Both Sina Finance and Daji Yuan reported the money involved is 40 billion yuan, around $6 billion. Along with the residents, some local real estate owners are encountering issues regarding the red code. For example, some owners of unfinished buildings, such as Zhengzhou Mingmen Kui Yuan and Kangqiao Jiuxi Garden in Zhengzhou, Hunan, had been assigned a red code in the rights protection process. Before the red code could be changed back to the green code, they had to apply for a green code change and guarantee that they would not defend their rights. Sunak Zhongyuan Daguan's project was reportedly stopped before they finished it. They also encountered the red code problem working with the Chinese regime. Their properties are unfinished business because the construction had been suspended for 8 months. The owners of Sunak Zhongyuan Daguan reported to the Bureau of Letters and Calls many times. However, as Sina Finance reported, one owner's health code suddenly turned into a red code. Kangqiao Jiuxi Gardens in Zhongyuan District, Zhengzhou, also received a red code when they reported the problem. What netizens say about the red code incident? As Sina Finance reported, netizens have some comments about the red code. A user on Weibo commented that it was illegal to assign red codes to depositors of rights protection at will. Another person named Xia Kedao said that they should be held seriously responsible regardless of which department or who initiated it. According to a Weibo user named Xiaobai, not Xiaobai, indiscriminate use of the red code hurts the people's confidence in Hunan's government. It also affects the everyday use of the health code and the information security of residents, and delays the overall national prevention and control situation. Who is responsible for this occurrence? On June 7th, Song Weijun, a researcher at Tianjin, told Chinese language media outlet Daji Yuan that Hunan's New Fortune Group was a trader behind Xuchang Rural Commercial Bank. According to Song Weijun, Hunan's New Fortune Group allegedly infiltrated 13 banks and absorbed public funds through various methods. A rural bank had problems withdrawing funds after the New Fortune company was deregistered. The company reportedly closed online withdrawals, transfers, and other funding methods 2 months after the organization was deregistered. How was the whole scam conceived? Third-party online platforms such as Baidu's Du Xiaoman and Xiaomi's Tianxing Finance may be involved because depositors use these apps to make deposits. To put it bluntly, the New Wealth Group, bank executives, shareholders, and other insiders conspired. They collaborated to construct a fake system that met the China Banking and Insurance Regulatory Commission's requirements. As the Liberty Times reported, these platforms generate revenue by routing payments to non-bank accounts such as shareholder accounts rather than bank accounts. According to Sina Finance, through Zhengzhou County Maintainence trading, Henan New Fortune Group is associated with Anhui Perception Internet of Things technology. Henan New Fortune Group may have transferred large sums of money via transactions between banks and affiliated companies. Therefore, the company might have stakes in many rural banks in Henan. Sina Finance cites investigation from NetEase Qingliu Studio. Henan New Fortune Group not only holds the equity of Luoyang Bank, Hebei Bank, and other regional banks. It also participates in at least 6 rural commercial banks and village banks. But how did Henan New Fortune Group penetrate into at least 13 rural banks? As reported by Sina Finance, upstream journalists found that the company mostly used 2 basic routines, including equity penetration and executive holdings. Xuchang Rural Commercial Bank holds 20.5% of Xian Minxiang Rural Bank. Meanwhile, 2 other companies affiliated with Henan New Fortune Group hold nearly 17%. In Anhui, Yixian Jinhuaihe Rural Bank, Xuchang Rural Commercial Bank holds 40%. Meanwhile, Zhengzhou Jianwen Trading and Anhui Perception Internet of Things Technology hold a total of 16%. According to Sina Finance, Xuchang Rural Commercial Bank is only a small part of Henan New Fortune's power in the banking industry. The penetration of Henan New Fortune Group might be greater. Suspects in Henan bank incident. The reason behind the recent bank incidents in China is bank corruption. On the afternoon of June 18th, the Public Security Bureau of Xuchang City, Henan Province, issued a police report on Henan New Fortune Group. According to the report, since 2011, a criminal gang headed by the company's actual controller, Lu Yi. He has been suspected of using village banks to commit a series of serious crimes. As Sina Finance reported, a number of criminal suspects have been arrested. A number of funds and assets involved in the case have been seized and frozen in accordance with the law. On the official website of the Henan government, Henan banking and local financial bureaus responded to issues related to individual village banks on June 18th. The criminal fact that the online transaction system of the village bank was manipulated and used by Henan New Fortune Group has been preliminarily identified. In addition, the relevant funds are being investigated. According to a notification released on June 18th by Xuchang Municipal Public Security Bureau, the suspected criminal behavior in the case lasted a long time. It involved many people and is very complicated. Therefore, the Chinese government needs more time for investigation.